face-to-face conversation, which we're going to be having, you have some connected discourse. Discourse means conversation or discussion. Your speech is a little bit slow to normal, but there's pauses and hesitation. So it's okay if sometimes you're like, that's okay. That's not that's normal of CLB 4 or 5. Adequate control over basic structures, that means nothing because it's so general. But what it means, or what it's identifying for the teacher, is we're looking at your grammar and can you have the sentences in the right order? Do you have some connectors? So you say something and or in addition, first, after that, for example. So different words or phrases to connect and give information. Here it says teacher. This doesn't mean me. In the conversation that you'll do between the parent and the teacher, is the teacher supportive? And like, does the teacher say, your son is not doing well, your son's terrible, or your son's not doing well, I think his reading needs to be strengthened, or he needs to do more reading, like saying it in a way that's a bit more positive. It's holistic, meaning that you're going to get I'll circle either yes, not quite, or no, depending on how many of these that you achieve. Okay? So with sentences, basic short sentences, and maybe some longer compound ones. And let me just comment on that. Here's my markers, sorry. So when we have a sentence, okay, so I have my subject, I have my verb, and I have my object. So Trevor is a teacher. And then I can also say, well, sorry, Trevor. Okay, so another simple sentence, Trevor loves hockey. So with a compound sentence, then I want to join these together. I can say Trevor is a teacher and he loves hockey. So it's just making it a little bit longer. This is a very basic format with that. And I can make compound sentences with and, with or. There's a few others like nor or yet, yes, but we don't usually use those. Okay. Plus, I can use plus, but it's used in a little bit different way with a comma with these, but I'm building or making it a little bit longer than basic. Past tense, because you're going to be talking about your child, or the teacher will talk about what your child's done in the past, so looking at the verb tenses. This is something that's sometimes confusing. What does adequate mean? So in this setting, the word adequate means enough, and what we're looking for is 2 to 4 details. Okay, so if you just say, oh, every night my son reads, that's very general. But if you say, every night my son reads for 10 minutes, and sometimes he goes online and looks at a story, now you're giving me 2 details. Okay? And your details also can be from the teacher or the parent. So the teacher might say, when your son Johnny, which is who is in class, sometimes he's sitting in the corner, but instead of reading, he's looking around or he's pretending to sleep. So I'm giving details in 2 or 3 ideas with that. Okay? So this is where, in our conversations on Wednesday, many of us said, okay, the teacher said, can your child do math for 10 minutes? Can your child read for 10 minutes? That's fine, but that's still only one detail. So you want to think about more how, where, what, when details to explain from the teacher's point or the parent's point. Pronunciation, as long as we're able to understand what you're saying, communicating. And then Let me erase some of this, otherwise it looks confusing. Okay. This one is a little bit tricky because this is cultural. There's going to be cultures where the person does not feel comfortable looking me or the other person in the eye. In North America, though, I'm not going to be looking at somebody and just staring at them. Even for me, I'm going to be looking around a bit and then looking at the person looking around. So as long as you're making some eye contact, wait for the bell. Okay. So when we do the assessment with these tables, I'm going to have them split apart around the room. You're going to have a chair on each side so that the teacher's on one side, you're on the other. You're going to have a dialogue, which I'll show you in a minute, a script, and then you're going to talk, and you're going to have your, sorry, I'll grab my phone. You're going to, because I won't have time to listen to everyone one by one in class. So I'm going to be coming around and listening, but let's just say that this table is here, the two of you guys are here. You'll record the conversation and then you'll send it to me so that I can also be listening at home and I can be keeping track of what was said and then giving you a score in these areas. Any questions so far?